Hello.
Hi, and welcome back to Goths React to Goths. We're trying to get Goths reacting to Goths react to Goths off the ground, but Christopher Nolan sent us a cease and desist for going too many levels deep.
So today we're going to be reacting to Goths on talk shows from the late 90s to the early 2000s.
These talk show clips are always incredibly sensationalized. They're obviously way over the top and people are like, oh my god, this person's wearing black lipstick, they're a Satanist, they worship the devil. So they're always worth checking out because they're so like over sensationalized, over dramatic. Everything is like, oh my god, a person different to the rest of us. So I thought it'd be interesting for us to watch this and kind of react to, is the person on the talk show appearance being a little like memey edgelordy? Are the people in the crowd, the interviewer, being over the top? Let's find out with our first clip.
But you just don't care what they say. Meet Alan. He says that his son, Alan Jr., looks like a freak because he wears makeup, colors his hair, wears dog collars, and even shaved his eyebrows.
Wouldn't be me.
Imagine wearing dog collars and shaving your eyebrows. The audacity.
Before we meet your son, tell us, why are you so angry?
The thing of it is, he looks like a freak. Looks like he just came off another planet. What planet? I do not know.
What do you think I'm going to say here?
No idea.
His dad has long hair. He looks like he was like a metalhead, like, or whatever. So I'm really surprised he's being so like antagonistic about the whole thing. His dad looks like he'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know if that was like just the fashion back then, or maybe what he is or was a metalhead, and he's just, you know, it's not, makeup isn't kind of a thing.
Yeah, he's like, this is too far.
It's the makeup and everything. Like, he probably introduced them into like that kind of music,
Alternative
and then he kind of moved on. He was like, oh no.
No, too far. No, Guns N' Roses, fine. Whitesnake, fine. The eyeliner, too far, son. You've gone too far.
But you would think anyone in being a metalhead, even, you kind of understand how people judge you just for the music, and you shouldn't do that. So I don't know if that's the case, really, with him.
Maybe he just has long hair because he's a lot of weed.
How old is your son?
He's only 15.
15.
And this kid is such a good-looking kid. He's got natural blonde hair. Well, he's had more colors than these, I think. It's just going on and on and on.
And you wanted to stop?
I wanted to stop, definitely.
All right. Are we ready to see what he's talking about? Alan Jr.
I mean, I would say they're being a bit like over the top with like the entrance, and they're like, oh my god,
Smoke and all.
Yeah,
are the audience fans like?
But at the same time, I'm like, I mean, yeah, embrace it. Like, if you know you're coming on this show to be made a spectacle of, why not just embrace it and sort of like play into it? I feel like kind of like that's what his dad is doing too, you know what I mean? He's just doing it because he's like, oh, I'm on TV, yeah, I want to be on the show. Or you never really tell with these things.
And the audience usually boo, but like they seem to be just screaming and cheering.
Yeah, well, I mean, with an entrance like that.
Alan Jr., nice to see you. Making Daddy proud, Alan. What do you want to say? I mean, your dad is fed up with the way you're dressing these days. What do you want to say to him?
Look at him, Mr. 70s over here.
He's got a fair point, like. He's got a fair point. He's got long hair, and like, I mean, the quality of this clip is so terrible I can't tell, but I think he has a little Ronnie, like a little Gomez tash as well. He's got long hair, so.
Yeah, my eyesight's bad enough, and I'm already always squinting, but now I'm like,
his 140.
what am I looking at?
140p quality video we have going here.
What is this?
What is this?
You got a little toy box with you here or something? What's in your bag of tricks here, Felix? Or should I say Alice? I can't tell.
Ricky Lake. Ricky Lake is in my bag of tricks.
Kind of respect it, to be honest. If you're going to come on one of these shows and you know like that you're going to be made a spectacle of, why not be like over the top and just kind of play into it or whatever? At least then you won't be bored through the whole thing. Like, it's one thing to go on there and try spread like information and try get people to like accept you or whatever, but when you know you're coming onto a show like Ricky Lake or like Jerry Springer or something like that, you know no one is gonna watch that show and then be like, oh, you know what, they made a lot of great points I think we've misunderstood this whole thing this whole time. No, it's not what they want. They probably wouldn't even end up airing that episode of the show. If you went on and you were eloquent and you were like well read and you gave excellent answers to like every question they gave and you like explained and tried to spread this message, they probably just wouldn't air the show. Or a producer would pull you over to the side and be like, oh yeah, listen, I see what you're saying here. Would you like mind just telling everyone that you like drink blood or something like that?
Alan, why do you dress like this?
Rebellion. It's against society.
Against society, not just your dad, against society.
Yeah.
What are you against?
It's why do I want to be like everybody else? Like, people are gonna hate me the way I look.
How are you doing in school right now?
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk. I got a little surprise for him, Ricky. It's his report card.
Yes.
D's and F's. 2 D's and 4 F's. Since he's been dressing like this.
I feel like no matter what, there's going to be like maybe 40% of teenagers when they get into school at a certain point, their grades are going to like drop and they're going to be like not paying. I don't think it's like exclusive to the alternative subculture. I think just there's a high percentage of teenagers who go out and start obviously hanging around with the wrong crowd, experimenting with different stuff, and their grades are going to like drop off. And obviously their behavior is going to be affected. It's not exclusively because he spends more time putting on eyeliner, so he doesn't have time to study now. You know what I mean?
Be interested in something else, no matter what it is.
Correlation is not causation. Just because he started dressing like this and his grades dropped, it was probably just because he was out with his friends a lot more and wasn't bothering to pay as much attention in school or studying or doing homework or whatever. Which is bad. Stay in school, do your homework, or you'll end up like us. Internet people.
It's been like that since he started doing this. He's been going downhill progressively.
He's only 15 years old. How long has he been dressing this way?
About a year now.
About a year. And why do you think, what happened a year ago?
He used to be a rapper. Now he's into this.
He was a rapper and now he's edgy. History really does repeat itself. Also, I was very surprised that Ricky Lake was actually like picking up for him there, being like, hey, it's ridiculous. His grades aren't dropping just because he dresses like this. Like, that's why would you possibly think that? That's surprising. Although, I don't know, because we are Irish. So we didn't have Ricky Lake growing up. We got Maury and Jerry Springer. That was it. Is Ricky Lake more like a positive, understanding, like, talk show host for things? Or is this a fluke? Because I don't know. Because Springer and Maury always went the other direction, like every time.
So wait, is there a difference between the way Alan looks and the way Gianna and Mikey look?
Well, I think his way is extreme to me, a little too extreme to me.
Too extreme for you? Okay, but the purple hair, the magenta hair, that's not too extreme.
Look fine to me, but him, it's a little outrageous.
Sexism. This is a common occurring thing. And even in our life, it's happened. You generally got off much easier for being alternative or unusual because you're a girl. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that alternative women and girls don't have shit said to them, don't also get a hard time, etc. They definitely do. Everyone who is slightly different gets a hard time, and that sucks. But it has to be said that guys get treated way worse for it. I don't know if it's a projection of like masculinity thing, like, oh, you shouldn't do this because that's not manly or whatever. But even in our life, I feel like you could do something or look a certain way and people would be like, oh yeah, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that's just Lynn. She's a little weird. She's a little edgy. If I did it, it would be like, what are you doing? You weirdo loser. Now I think still definitely, yeah. Obviously there's going to be some people who react negatively to it. But I think more people react negatively to men and males.
Well, obviously it wasn't common for guys to be wearing makeup and nail varnish. So that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is it a masculinity thing? Like, I feel like it still goes on now. Like, definitely, like, if someone saw you in a full look, you would get less negative comments than like a guy would.
Well, the only thing that I think would be different is just the makeup factor. Like, I feel like you could dress as extreme as you wanted, and I could dress as extreme as I wanted, and the only reason people would be extra shocked at you over me would be because they're like, oh, that's a guy wearing makeup. So yeah, I agree because of that. Yeah, that alone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still treated like weirdly for guys.
I don't
to
think
wear makeup.
that's to do with like guys don't get away with like wearing certain stuff. It's just more like if it's stuff that's not common for men to do.
I mean, I get like when I dress down, people still give me shit.
So it reminds me of a story of back in the day. I used to hang out with all these guys. They were definitely into different music. They were kind of more into punk and stuff. They were aware that I listened to stuff like My Chemical Romance, Black Veil Brides, that was one. They kind of like used to just, you know, I guess slag me about, but in like kind of a fun way. They'd be like, haha, oh, Lynn, such an emo, like, she likes Black Veil Brides. But they were my friends at the end of the day. They would want to hang out with me, even though I liked all of these emo things. And then one day, there was a guy at the bank, and he was wearing a My Chemical Romance hoodie and eyeliner. And they were, like, all whispering to each other about how they were going to go and, like, tie him to a pole. And I was like, why are you going to go and tie him to a pole? And they were like, because he's wearing a My Chemical Romance hoodie. Like, ugh, like, imagine this. I'm not going to say exactly what they said because it's pretty bad, but they were like, why would he listen to that music? It's like wimp music. And I was like, well, I listen to it. And they were like, yeah, well, you're a girl.
Sexism.
And I was just like, really? And I was like, don't do it. Don't go near him. And they didn't, thankfully, but probably when I left, they probably did it. And it made me so upset and angry. Like, just like, I don't want to be friends with people like this, you know? That's definitely a fact, you know? That definitely does happen sometimes, unfortunately.
Sexism, bad. Hot takes from the Random Goth Couple channel.
If you're walking down the street and somebody makes fun of you, do you hit them over the head with your purse? I mean, your lunchbox?
Dad, I think you need to be more concerned with the grades. I mean, the grades seem to be a much more serious issue than the way he's dressing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're at the 70s about experimentation. Didn't you do the same thing? At least it's not drugs, it's just the way he looks.
When I was in school, I didn't experiment. I was mostly into sports. I was a jock.
So would you say you're close-minded? No, I was athletic.
I think he just means
They're
it's
not
not a thing.
They're not interchangeable, sir. They
Yeah.
are not interchangeable.
But he just means it's not common. He was like, oh, I don't know any people that dress like this that are also into sports.
The question was, would you consider yourself close-minded? No, I did sports.
Yes.
So open-minded. I did sports in general, several sports. Very international.
Stayed home and made plain model airplanes.
I understand.
Now I fly him.
Dad, Alan Sr., you said that his last...
That's kind of cute. That is kind of cute. He stayed home and made model airplanes. He's like, I was a jock. I was a dude bro jock. I played sports. He doesn't do that. And he's like, you stayed home and made model airplanes. Yeah, now I fly them. That's kind of cute. Maybe they should go fly planes together. Maybe that's something they should bond over.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, I'm pretty conservative. I'm maybe a geek, but I think you guys look cool. You have a sense of style. You're unique. You're one of a kind.
That's true.
Girls notice me more now than they did before.
I'll bet they do.
I'm very surprised at how like open-minded and supportive the host is being. I did not expect it to go this way. It's usually the complete other direction. It's usually like trying to get a rise out of people. Now, obviously, you have the crowd coming up and like making statements and jokes at their expense and stuff. But I'm really surprised at how positive the general vibe is.
I think they're used to seeing worse, basically, on this show. I think they're used to seeing kids on drugs and stuff.
Fair, but
So
I
they're
wonder,
like, this is not bad.
I wonder if they're always as supportive and understanding.
Society made him do this. He's only 15. I have a 15-year-old brother, and I don't think that society's done anything to you yet. You're too young. What did they
Society's driving me
possibly
crazy.
You're 15. What did they do to you? You're not even in high school. You just started high school. Come on.
I've got another
The
thing.
society was too normal.
Also, Ricky, he's been getting, in the past Valentine's Day, he's been getting cards from boys. That's starting to scare me.
That's cute, though, that you got cards.
I don't know. I feel like maybe they were like joke cards to say like, oh, you look like a girl. You know what I mean?
Maybe they will tell us
Or
more.
maybe they were serious cards. Maybe the guys in his grade started to notice him.
He's young. He's young. If he's going through a phase, maybe he'll snap out of it. But you know what? You really got to get an education. What do you want to be when you grow up, Alan?
Pretty much. I'm in the
A
music.
bigger freak?
There you go.
No. Seriously. I mean, you put him down. What do you want to be? What do you aspire to be?
I'm a musician.
He is very smart, Ricky. He can do just about anything he wants, but he doesn't want to apply himself to anything as far as school goes.
Do you want to deliver an ultimatum to him
Yes,
today?
I do.
What do you want to say to your
If you
son?
don't straighten out, you're not going to be working for me this summer, and I'm not going to help you with getting your car. You've got to change.
I mean, yeah, he's doing bad in school, but he has a hobby, music. It's something he wants to apply himself to. He could maybe go to music college, like I did. And look where that got me. He could be encouraging him more, because he's like, yeah, like, focus more on your music and stuff, for sure, like, I'll help you with this and that, but obviously you still have to focus on school, but instead he's just too honed in on the appearance, too, like, zoned in on his appearance, and he thinks that's what's causing his problems.
You know what, though? I think, like, because I was about 15 when I started to dress like this and look like this, and my parents said the exact same thing. Oh, because they were like, you're having temper tantrums just because of the music. The music influences you to be angry. But it's just, you're just a teenager. You're going through stuff, you know.
Yeah.
If I do one bad thing, they'd be like, that's it, you're not wearing this stuff anymore, and they would just take all my clothes, put it in a black bag, rip down all my posters, and be like, that's it, you're not listening to this anymore, and that stuff was gone. And then a few hours later, you know, we would have the conversation, and they would realize that I'm just a teenager, and no matter what, I'm gonna, you know, be angry and hormonal and stuff. She wouldn't apologize, but I would take the stuff back and she wouldn't say anything. And then my posters would always be like ripped and stuff, and I'd have to put them back on the wall, and I'd be like, I really wish you would stop doing this, because you let me just put it all back up again, and then my posters are ripped.
These posters cost money, Mom.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, why are you bothering ripping them down? What's that gonna do? That's not gonna make me be like, oh, I'm gonna be good now. If I started acting good then, she'd be like, oh, it was because of that stuff. So I was just like, just took the stuff back, and then she just was like, oh, it didn't happen.
Yeah, negative reinforcement is never going to work. You've suffered so much, my poor dear. You turned out okay.
All right, I'm pleading with you, Alan. Continue your education. You gonna work on the grades?
Yeah.
All right, work on the grades. Thanks.
I mean, he said he's going to work on his grades.
Yeah.
He said he's going to work on his grades, so that's a positive. I think his dad is being, close-minded, kind of.
Big meanie poo-poo head.
Yeah, I think a lot of parents think that this is just something that you're just going through. Like, it's not like a full, like, lifetime thing. It's just like, they're going through this thing right now, and I want it to hurry up and be over soon, kind of thing. So they're like, the quicker I can influence them to stop this, the better. My parents were like, this is a phase. Like, they would take me places like to dance class and to drama class, and they'd be like, oh yeah, don't mind Lynn, like, she's just gone through that, you know, that the phase that a lot of people go through, being like goth or like a rocker, I guess they would say back then. And they were like, she's gonna grow out of it.
I hope some of the positive energy from Ricky Lake there actually got through to his dad. It's also television, so I feel like he was maybe playing it up just for, like, the cameras. But we have good news. Alan came back. He came back on Ricky Lake a while later, so we get to see their progress. We get to see if their grades got better. Did they get their car? Did their dad stop being homophobic and sexist? Let's find out.
Well, do you remember Alan? I sure do. He is back because there are 2 viewers who desperately want to meet him. Alan Jr., welcome back. Come on out.
I love his outfit. I love the outfit. Where were they? Like, was this Hot Topic? Was this how good Hot Topic was back in the day? Was this actually how good Hot Topic was back in the day? Because they sure as hell weren't ordering this off Wish or Shein, you know what I mean? And like, I don't even know where you'd find the pieces to DIY that much back then. So really, like, was that Hot Topic? Was that how good it was back in the day? Because we really missed out.
Welcome back. Nice to see you. How you doing?
Great.
What's happened since the show? How are things with your dad?
He's still nagged. I have to go to his work, and he makes me wear Everlast shoes and stuff. Really bothers me.
The Everlast shoes. Not the Everlast shoes. He's toned down his makeup look, I've noticed. I feel like maybe in general he's toned down his makeup look, because if you were still doing that and you were going on TV, I feel like you would have done it. Like, you wouldn't look like this on a daily basis still and then go on TV and just be like, naked mole rat.
Yeah.
Well, you know you have 2 admirers who are dying to meet you. Let's meet them. Come on out.
Right.
Is this turned into a dating show? Is this turned into a dating show?
It's a bit mean to bring the both of them on after just one, like.
Yeah. Now, Alan, you're faced with the choice. Which one? But I love that he started this like cult of Alan now. These girls have like watched the Ricky Lake show and saw him and wrote in and were like, can you get Alan back? I really want to meet him for no reason. No, just think he's cool. Can I have Alan's phone
They probably
number?
got a lot of letters like that.
There's someone in the Ricky Lake office back then who was like, Alan fan mail dump. Just
Max, what caused you to write to us to meet Alan? What was it about him?
I just think he's really beautiful physically. And I also think he was really brave to come on this show and wear a skirt and makeup and stuff like that, especially a boy of his age.
And what about you, Christine?
I just think he's a completely intriguing type of person. I think he's proud of who he is, and he should be proud of who he is.
All right, we have to take a break, but you know what, you guys? How'd you like to go out to dinner, the three of you, on us?
Definitely.
Yeah? All right, have fun. I have to say, I've had a great time today. I've learned so much. And let me just say, as the old cliche goes, you never judge a book by its cover. That's right. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
That was surprisingly wholesome. Like I said earlier, we got Springer and Maury. We got the dark side of American daytime television. Was Ricky Lake the light side? So not much learned. Alan is still fighting with his dad. His dad still appears to be...
And for some reason, they've brought two girls on to go on a date.
Yeah, and for some reason, they brought two girls on to go... They're paying for him to go on a date with them. How are his grades? We want to know. Have his grades improved? We're left on such a cliffhanger.
Not after they've sent them off.
Yeah.
Girls.
Yeah, listen, study and do good in school and get good grades, and Ricky Lake will give you money to go out on a date with these two girls.
His dad's gonna be snapping. Yeah, I think that's really cool that they bring people onto the show and actually show a good side of them and don't like try and ask them questions that's gonna try and make them look bad.
Yeah, there was no like leading questions and stuff and no like over dramaticness. They were actually very, very understanding, which was surprising. It's disappointing to see that his dad and his parents in general were so like about his appearance and like how he felt about things and how he wanted to express himself, rather than channeling into like positively reinforcing him to do better in school and stuff. They're just like giving him ultimatums and threats and stuff, which is something unfortunately that a lot of people go through when they're alternative or even just slightly different to their parents' expectations. And it sucks, and I hope things actually worked out for them in the end. Obviously, the title in this video is going to say the word goth in it somewhere, and I know there's someone in the comment section, probably several people in the comment section right now, being like, that's not a goth. But that was the style at the time, as you see. Obviously falls into the category more of like mall goth, just judged on appearance alone. We got a brief insight into their music taste by some of their clothing. We're going to dive deeper into mall goth in a future subculture styles episode, and I can't wait for it because I honestly love that nostalgic, like over the top, big trip pants, like heavy makeup, weird hair, over the top jewellery look of the early 2000s mall goths and stuff.
Which was the style at the time.
Thank you so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below if you would like us to react to more videos like this.
Yeah, we really hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and like Lynn said, let us know in the comment section down below if you want to see us react to more clips like this. But until next time, see you in your nightmares.